Hi, I'm JB with Madwire, and I want to talk about our natural listing ad program and what makes it different than traditional SEO. First off, we believe that our system is about 1,000 times better than traditional SEO, and I'll tell you why. Because traditional SEO focuses on on-site content, on off-site SEO content, and also link building type strategies and those things to help increase your rankings and your traffic organically. Great. But it's missing the key element, which is actually driving you conversions. At Madwire, our sole focus is driving conversions, and let me show you why our natural listing ads program accomplishes that. So let's take a look at it. Number one, our process is a revolving process with natural listing ads. And it starts with actual keyword optimization of your website's content, and also optimizing offset content like social media networks and whatnot that you may have set up. So optimizing on-site and off-site content for your best keywords. And we do that in a number of ways. We'll go through and do the keyword research to determine what we call your golden keywords are, which are the keywords that basically drive you the most conversions. We will optimize your title tags, your on-site content, make sure your site structure is good. In other words, your URL structure makes sense, your sitemap is put well together to help search engines recognize you for your content. We do fresh content on a monthly basis, so we'll populate your site either through your blogs or reviews or just building out pages of unique, fresh content for search engines to crawl and give you credit for. We optimize for offset content like we talked about through social media and other outside networks. And we do a number of other things on the traditional SEO side of things to help optimize your website. So that's number one. This ties in line with most SEO companies do something along these lines. We feel that we do it well, and so that takes us to the next piece of the process, which is strong natural listing ad copy. This area here is where we begin to separate ourselves with our natural listing ads program compared to traditional SEO. So these things from here around are really the next level for you. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to write strong natural listing ad copy. Now, what does that mean? Basically, when you search something on Google or Bing and you see the natural listings there, that's essentially ad copy. You're visible for that search term, and so what does your copy say? So many SEO companies miss that piece, and so maybe you're ranking on page one and you're being seen every day on page one, but nobody's clicking you because it's not well written there. So that's not doing you any good. You're visible, but you're not getting traffic. And so what we do is we optimize your meta description tags, essentially is what we do. And we write nice quality ad copy, just as if you were doing paid placement. You'd want to spend a lot of time writing ad copy, A/B testing that ad copy. We do the same thing organically through our natural listing ad program. And so when you're looking at this piece of the pie, this sort of integrates with this piece right here. They sort of work together. So we'll optimize the natural listing ad copy through your meta description tag and your title tag. And then we'll analyze that organic traffic, the rankings that you're receiving, and your click-through rates. Now, if your click-through rates aren't very good, that means that you're being seen every day, but nobody's clicking on you, so you would have a low click-through rate. If you're being seen and being clicked on, you would have a high click-through rate. So we will play with this organic ad copy here to help increase your click-through rate, because that's the most important piece. And so when we're talking about optimizing the meta description, that helps increase your impressions and your visibility because your rankings begin to increase. Your click-through rate begins to increase through those optimization techniques that we've talked about. Also, we really focus on increasing your click-through rate for your best terms. Sometimes you have a good click-through rate, but it's on terms that aren't really that valuable to you. So we look at what are the most important keywords to drive you the most business, and let's increase the click-through rate on those first. So we focus on that, and then of course the relevance of it. If you're getting a click-through, but the page that they're landing on is not relevant to that click-through, you're gonna have a high bounce rate. So that means you're not gonna see conversions. And so we try to make sure that the ad copy that we're creating organically is very relevant to the page that it's landing on. So when somebody does click, they don't immediately leave the site. So that's these two pieces right here. Now, the last piece, which is hugely important, and so many SEO companies miss out on this piece. This piece is probably the most important piece. Getting the traffic there obviously is hugely important, but the most important thing is to convert that traffic into business. And so what we're doing right here is we're going to optimize your landing pages to have the highest conversion rate possible. So if you're bringing that traffic in and that traffic's not converting, why is that? We're going to need to do some things to improve upon that. Some of the things that we might do, number one, is optimize your call to action. maybe your call to action on that page is not there, or maybe it's poor. For whatever reason, people are going to the page and they're not converting, they're leaving your site. So we need to optimize the call to action on that landing page. We need to optimize the landing page's conversion rate as a whole, or at least the click-through rate on the landing page to get them into your conversion funnel. The whole conversion funnel is something we'll also optimize. We're going to look at which keywords organically are driving you the most traffic and where they're landing on your site. And then we're going to optimize those pages to drive you the most conversions possible. The time on site's important. If they're not spending time on your site, they feel it's not relevant. So we need to make some on-site changes to improve upon that. If there's a high bounce rate, we're going to make changes to decrease the bounce rate, minimize it so that you have a lower bounce rate and you have a higher conversion rate. And then we're going to remarket to that organic traffic through our remarketing program. That's usually important because 97% of your traffic won't convert even if it is relevant. So if you're not remarketing to that traffic, you're not going to be bringing in as many conversions as you should. We'll optimize and remarket to the organic traffic with specific targeted banners based on the pages that they visit. So that's super relevant. So all these things put together really is a great organic solution, and it's going to drive great results. And it's more than just SEO and ranking on page 1 for your best keywords. It's actually looking at the other half, which is the most important piece, and it's taking that traffic and driving it into sales. So let's look at what that does for you over time real quick. Initially, you're really not going to have any visibility because you're just starting the campaign, and Google doesn't rank sites overnight. So as we make these optimization techniques and kind of go around this revolving process, you'll begin to see more and more impressions, which is more and more visibility through higher rankings of your keywords. So over time, your impressions look like this. Impressions means people are seeing your listing. Doesn't mean they're clicking on it, they're just seeing you there. You're on the page when they're searching for these terms. That's great, but that doesn't do you any good unless they click on you. So what we do with this part of the process here is increase your click-through rate so that you're being seen and now being clicked. And so over time, your clicks will look like this. And then your conversions through the conversion rate optimization, which is this piece here, as well are going to increase. Because if you're getting impressions, good. Now you're getting clicks, better. It's still not doing anything for you. Now you need to get conversions. That's where you actually make a return on investment. So all those changes we're making, you see your conversion rate also begin to go like this. This is total conversions. This is the actual sales that you're making right there. Also, your conversion rate over time initially might be maybe 1%. As we make these educated decisions and changes, your conversion rate increases to eventually maybe over time you get closer to 10% on organic traffic, which would be awesome. And then last, I just want to look at how return on investment works with natural listing ads. So eventually, at first you're putting in all of this work and we're doing all these things, but you're not necessarily seeing those conversions right away. That's normal. So your return on investment initially looks like this. It's down. You're doing work, you're spending money, you're not seeing the conversions. But if you stick with it over time, you come back to break even, and then it looks like this. It pays you back tenfold. You just have to let the system work. And the system works pretty quick with this strategy that we deploy. So, thanks.